The free $20,000 MLB 10 Runs for Free Cash contest is now live at SBRforum.com. What is the contest? It's simple. Each day in a designated SBR Forum post, you pick one team that you think will score 10 or more runs that day. You qualify to win $100 that day if you are correct. Each day the game continues, you pick another team. And every time your team scores 10 runs, you'll be adding onto your total score. The contest is split into 3 segments, and at the end of each segment, the top scorer split $2,500. And at the conclusion of the contest, there's even more cash up for grabs, in total over $20,000. And I know what you're thinking. You can just pick the Yankees every day and win. No, you can only pick the same team once per week. Check out the link in the description for more info and see you in the SBR Forum for the contest.
Folks, welcome into SportsBookReview.com. It's Thursday. It's time to talk some Major League Baseball. It's also time to trim the hedges and cut your grass out there as we are ready for an action-packed afternoon of Major League Baseball. I'm Donnie RightSide along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the SportsBookReview.com Major League Baseball team. And I got to say today, it feels good. Why? Because my pockets ain't empty after last night. Both value plays come in. The odds boost comes in. Magnifique, baby. Loved it last night, Jason. How you doing today on a Thursday?
I mean, we just had Ida come over here in New Jersey, and the landscapers are already out. They found a way to bring everything they need to get to where they got to go. So you got to give these guys a lot of credit. I mean, they work harder than all 3 of us, that's for sure. But, yeah, you go back to yesterday, got a W off of Michael A. Taylor dropping a ball. I got to go through all of my games where I took the Royals or bet against the Royals because it seems like Michael A. Taylor always does something positive for me and my bet. I got to go back. Might have to get his jersey. Might have to put it up like you got Ben DiNucci up there. I might got to get Michael A. Taylor jersey.
And by the way, in a quick update here on Jason's house, he got hit by 3 tornadoes last night, so he is homeless here at this time once again.
Good. So good.
Yep, exactly. Oh, there you go. He's already drove by the house, Kyle, so he's in good shape over here. No need to crash on anybody's couch. Yesterday, me 3-0, fantastic. Thank goodness. I needed it, loved it. How about your night last night, Kyle? Profitable as well.
Yeah, it was a good 4-0 night. Even got those dreaded odds boosts to come through very easily with Garrett Cole, so it was a great night. Of course, today, I don't give up hope until the 5th inning's over, but I don't know why don't you guys stop me when I say I'm going to like the Phillies? Why in the hell does anyone allow me to take the Phillies? God, they're despicable, but hopefully they can make some magic happen in the 5th inning. 5th inning is the magic inning in first 5, so let's hope something happens there. But, great night. Excited to be back today. Of course, it's a short card. Of course, we'll do some double duty, talk some football after that as well. So we got, what's that?
The Phillies already, they went 1, 2, 3 in the 5th.
Oh, so there you go. The bet is dead. Let me go delete that tweet like it never happened. But there's some more. There's another spot I like tonight on the value menu. We got some odds boosts, some interesting games, honestly, here on the card. Some high totals in that Atlanta-Colorado game, so that'll be fun to talk about. Short card. Let's get after it and get ready for Friday because we know that's payday.
Beautiful stuff here. Let's have some fun today. But, of course, at sportsbookreview.com, the fun never stops just on this Major League Baseball show. Why? Because you can win money. You can win money right here. Still, if you're picking team totals, get in the contest. You saw Lee Morton explain it there. Still going on through the end of September here, the $20,000. Well, not $20,000 anymore for grabs because the majority of that has already been handed out. But we still have a lot more to give away. And, oh, yes, the Pick 6 contest. If you love college football, fantastic. You love the NFL, even better. You love both. It doesn't get any better than that. 6 picks a week. Go 6-0. Win your share of $1,600 in weekly prizes. $50,000 up for grabs right here at sportsbookreview.com. And you guys are coming through in a big way. Why? 87,900 subscribers on our channel right here at SBR. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. And if you want to be a better baseball bettor, you need some more information, you want some articles, Jason writes a lot of them there, you want some videos that us 3 idiots appear on, click on that link, sbrpicks.com/MLB. Let's get into some Major League Baseball live updates since we do have some afternoon action. Kyle sitting back and enjoying himself today. Maybe not, because the Nationals have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But I tell you one team that looks like they are playoff ready, That's the Oakland Athletics charging up the standings 8-0 right here over the Detroit Tigers. Going to come to you first here, Jason. Any looks on the card today? The Phillies, I mean, I technically agree with Kyle's play. You have Aaron Nola in the mound against a dead baseball team with an extra day to rest and JT Realmuto back in the lineup. The Phillies should have at least hit. They haven't done that. But the Oakland Athletics last night, case in point, taking team totals over taking money lines. There you go. Last night as Oakland cashes the team
and
total
first
and
five.
Loses the money line.
Yeah,
see that?
Also true.
Jason, what do you think?
Yeah.
Anything today early?
So, I did agree with the under in the Phillies Nationals first 5. So we'll see if that hits. We got 3 more outs for Nola here. I agree with that. Also, of course, I did like the Athletics to, do some damage. Didn't expect 8 runs, but did expect them to win the first 5. So, the one thing, I thought the Phillies would have been ahead in this game, but still did expect a low-scoring game in this one between those two teams. So, I think everything's kind of going as the planned, as I would have expected outside. I would have thought the Phillies would be up 3-0 instead, and I agree with Kyle in his decision, but yeah.
It hurts.
Well, and also, let's welcome in Eric Berry into the chat box, the great safety from the University of Tennessee. Good looking out for the info, Kyle. Darvish was the perfect fade yesterday. And Steven saying, thank you to Gavin Sheets. Yes, thank you, Gavin Sheets. And I have to tell you, I set my notifications on the phone. After the 7th inning, I'm like, I'm not checking this anymore. I'm going to bed. Roll over in the middle of the night. I saw 2 notifications. The first one popped up. It was not the Chicago White Sox. The second one popped up as an 8th inning solo blast on an 0-2 count. Yes. Thank you, Gavin Sheets, for completing my day. So is what it is here. But Kyle, early looks on the card today. I know you went with the Philadelphia Phillies. Didn't come up here, but we do have some games still left on the card. Any thoughts here? Because if you look at the over-under live in the Phillies Nationals game, sitting at a 6.5. If you look at the Oakland Athletics Detroit Tigers live line, that is over 13.5. But if you want to make a little bit of money here and have $50,000 to your name, there's a line here at minus 50,000 on Oakland to win this game, Kyle.
There you go. Just throw all your money on that. It'll be great. Now, I'm kind of kicking myself just a little bit because I was close to taking the A's team total early. I liked it a lot. But then again, the A's made me sweat that first 5 yesterday, had me lose. I don't trust the A's all that much, so I switched over to the Phillies. And as soon, we talk about this all the time, it was the top of the 3rd, bases loaded, 2 outs, Bryce Harper's up. He's walking everyone on base. I knew the bet was dead. As soon as they had their best hitter, because I consider Bryce Harper a grossly overrated young player. I'm not the biggest Bryce Harper guy. Don't think he's all that good, honestly. Him and Lindor, what's the difference? Not much.
Huge.
I'm just messing. Of course, there's a huge difference there. But I knew it was dead as soon as he came up with the bases loaded. So that's a bummer. But yeah, the A's were the way to go here. I'm not sure there's any value the rest of the way. Maybe if you think that Washington bullpen implodes, you can probably get a nice number on the Phillies. Now, I'm out on that because, well, me and the Phillies just don't get along anymore. That's it. Done.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that, too? Like, if you were smart, Kyle, and you do, a lot of handicappers here, you know what? Best bet banker of the day, Oakland A's live money line minus 50,000. Boom, 1-1. That's how you do it.
There
man.
you go.
That is exactly how you do it at this time here. But yeah, we didn't have too much stuff here on the early card. But also, it was interesting because as I set up the cards the day before for the show, and you look, I'm like, now wait a second. Did I have to refresh a couple times so a couple more games get added? No, it is a short card for today. So let's get into it here. Eric Lauer's on the mound versus the San Francisco Giants. Milwaukee handling their business against a good baseball team in their own building. We take a look at today, a high favorite here for San Francisco, a minus 151 that opened up at Pinnacle, turned into a minus 175 here in New Jersey at FanDuel, 162, now sits at 188. 7.5s across the board, where both of those shops, Pinnacle and FanDuel, opened up at 8s, and that has since dropped, which I technically agree with here. Logan Webb's been very good, but this is one of those days where I said yesterday, Jason, if you're going to beat the Milwaukee Brewers, you better do it yesterday. Well, I'm going to say it again. Since you didn't win, you better beat them today with Eric Lauer on the mound, or else, bye-bye. The Dodgers will just run away from this division here. What are we thinking in this game here between Lauer and Webb? The one thing I do like a little bit here, though, is the first 5 innings here for the San Francisco Giants. I know Kyle likes to use run lines. They should no doubt be up after 5 innings, but I do think the batters will be able to hit today for the San Francisco Giants.
I agree. I like the Giants over 2 in the first 5 innings. Get that via points bet. Logan Webb on the mound for the Giants. We'll just start off with him. This is a guy that really probably should be talked about for the NL Cy Young more than he has been. 2.65 ERA, whip 1.11. He hasn't allowed 3 runs since go back to May the 5th. He's allowed 2 or less runs in every single game since May the 5th. I know he didn't play in June at all. He was injured, so maybe that hurts his Cy Young standing. But at the end of the day, yeah, he's looked fantastic. And so the Brewers, they will have Vogel back in the lineup today. I don't think Escobar is back just yet, but it's a lineup. Once they get healthy, they're going to look pretty good. But the Dodgers, they're in first place now in the NL West, so it's time for the Giants to try to get back in the race here after losing 4 straight games. And like Donnie was talking about, their lineup looks really good. They'll have a solid amount of power when it comes to belt, rough. Casali will also be in the lineup. He actually has a home run against Lauer already in his career. Posey had has good stats against him, but Casali does have that lone home run in the lineup against the competition. So, yeah, it's a great game between both teams, but the Giants need to get the job done here. And getting that 2 in the first 5 seems like pretty fair value. They get 2 and no more, it's just a push. And then, of course, if they get 3, you get the win. So, like that insurance, and that's the route I would go with.
Yeah, it should be a good game to watch, but I do think you really need a win for the Giants. I've been calling for it all year long, Kyle. The Dodgers will overtake the San Francisco Giants. It was actually kind of shocking to finally see it happen as you wake up this morning and saw them a half game above the San Francisco Giants. You need to win today because it looks like the Dodgers may never lose again, it feels like, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Dodgers are, they're steamrolling. They're going to go straight to the World Series. There's nobody in the National League that has a shot at stopping them. I mean, and barring some sort of weird COVID outbreak where their whole roster is gone, and even if they do that, their second unit's better than most baseball teams. You could argue more talented than the Giants' first string roster as well. So that's a little bit tough there. This one's tough. I will say you can go to BetMGM and get a Brewers depressed team total over 2.5 at -145. That's a low number for a team like the Brewers. But Jason's right. Logan Webb just does not give up runs. Yeah. I've sort of been sleeping on this. I didn't realize how good he has really been until I started going through and looking at it. So it does make it tough. I agree with Donnie. The Giants -0.5 in the first 5. You get it at -135. Do you feel comfortable enough taking the Giants early on and scoring? Lauer's not a great pitcher. This is not a great left-handed pitcher.
Nope.
The Giants don't profile all that bad. I will say in 3 of his last 4 starts, he's had 33 or more fantasy points. There are some Giants, as Jason touched on, who do profile nicely. Buster Posey, for what he was talking about there, is, I believe, 5 of 14 lifetime. Is he even going to be in the lineup tonight?
He'll be out of the lineup.
Yeah, he's out of the lineup here. So there you go. Austin Slater's 3 of 6. Chris Bryant, 1 of 4. So not a ton of success there. So there is some plus money value, I will say, on the Brewers, just the way the Giants have been playing. But all the numbers dictate Webb should get it done. I don't mind the under as well in this game, combined in the first 5, under 4 at -120. Giants are struggling to score runs. Webb's been really, really good, profiles nicely against the Brewers. And just something in me sort of likes this over 2.5 for the Brewers, whether it's done early or late. It's a low total for a team as good as the Brewers. They've been playing well. So those are a couple ways I would do it, but mostly a stay away, a little bit too tough for me to trust the Giants right now as a favorite the way they've been playing.
All right, keep moving down the list. Nice outing by Chris Sale and a nice victory there by the Boston Red Sox. The COVID Boston Red Sox picking up a W against the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. Rodriguez will be on the mound today for those Boston Red Sox against McClanahan. And actually, you have a decent pitcher on the mound finally, it seems like, for Tampa Bay, at least xFIP-wise over the past 30 days, at a 3.06, striking out close to 27% of the batters that he has faced. Now, here's the interesting matchup, Jason, I look at in this game. Rodriguez, the lefty, will be on the mound. Obviously, we usually say, like, hey, lefties handle lefties. That's not been the case with Rodriguez, where left-handed batters, he's only faced 18 over the past 30 days. High weighted on base percentage, a little bit elevated ISO power number. But as we always talk about, you have the ability with the Rays to stack a lot of right-handed batters. Anticipated in the lineup today are 9 batters. 8 of those are going to be from the right-hand side. Why is that important? Usually that sounds perfect match. Great. It's exactly what you want. But if you look at Rodriguez's numbers over the past 30 days, to righties, a 293 weighted on base percentage and a 133 ISO power number through 94 at-bats. He handles his business. So coming down to that pitching matchup, it's can that lineup, which does profile very well for the Rays against lefties, but can Eduardo Rodriguez match that? That's going to be the difference in the game today. But if you're asking me an opinion on who's going to win, the Rays are at home. I'm always looking at the Rays from any angle possible here, Jason.
Well, right now the Rays have the better offense. Of course, the Red Sox.
Yep.
They got hit by COVID, so now you have Danny Santana, you have Lopez, you have random guys at the bottom of the order that haven't really produced at all or really haven't played for the Red Sox as of late. So, if Renfroe is like leading off, that's kind of an issue when it comes down to it. He's, big power hitter, not really a guy that sets the table, although he has been good against lefties as of late. But, it's tough to go with the Red Sox here. Rodriguez, it's been bad, though. I mean, his strikeouts are high, 26%. Against righties, like you talked about, really hasn't been bad. It's been more towards the lefties. And we'll probably see a bunch of righties in the lineup, maybe one lefty if Joey Wendell is in the lineup for the Rays. So Rodriguez faces a ton of righties, and he's been good against righties. So this is a tough one to really look at. And, it looks like a little bit more salt to the wound for Kyle there. It looks like that.
Hey, if you're going to lose, you might as well get blown.
Yeah, you might as well get your ass kicked, whatever,
But, Soto with the bases loaded, you knew that was going to happen, but you put it in a guy with a 6 ERA over Nola. But this game's a tough one. The Rays with the better offense, but Rodriguez has pitched well against righties, so, it's a tough one.
This game seems like, by the way, down in Washington might be headed for one of those bullpen games where you're going to get position players in pitching to save your bullpen. So the Washington Nationals up 5-0 right now. Over under in that game is now 10.5. Let me get a quick look here on the FanDuel Sportsbook of what some lines are looking like for the Nationals. They don't have them posted just yet, I guess, with first and third. I don't know if there's maybe a ball. 7.5 now comes up on the board. That might not be a bad option. Wait, down, you're going to have 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. We might get legitimately one run at least more here to make 6, which means you would need 2 more to get over the 7.5. So something to keep an eye on. I'm not going to play it right now. I do wish that this game was role reversed, meaning that it was playing in Philadelphia where you'd get that extra at bat in the 9th inning no matter what happens, because this one looks like it's headed downhill fast for the Philadelphia Phillies, and that whack bullpen has another base hit up the middle. Still nobody out. 6-0 for the Washington Nationals at the time. Kyle, Red Sox and the Rays. What are you thinking today? You did. You crushed that pick.
Quite the astute analysis I had today on that. My goodness. I agree. It's a little bit tough. Rodriguez and McClanahan have both been really good against the opposing team. 3 straight starts of 35 fantasy points or more for Rodriguez against Tampa Bay. But I still like the race here. I think the line's too short in the first 5 innings. I do prefer McClanahan over Rodriguez just slightly. You're getting a minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 115. That is not a bad price for the advantages they have. You've got some hitters who've had some success. Brandon Lowe, right? Lau left. Lowe stayed. Brandon Lau, Lowe left. Brandon Lau. I'll never get that right. I will never get that right till the end of time. Till the end of time, I won't get that right. 4 of 13 in his career. Of those 4 hits, 3 of them have been home runs, so I like the home run prop for Lau tonight. He's one of those lefties who's just slightly better against left-handed pitching than he is against righties. And, of course, you talked about it perfectly. Rodriguez is much worse against lefties. It's an 8.43 over 3 years to lefties, a 7.40 to righties. It's strange, but he's just better against righties than he is against lefties. Randy Rosarina, 3 of 6. Manuel Margot, 3 of 10. So you have some hitters with some success here. I do like the Rays in the first 5 innings, minus 0.5 in the first 5. And if you're looking for a home run prop, I don't mind Lau. Either Wander Franco for that matter as well. 2 of 5, 1 home run in his career as well off Rodriguez. And some nice history there. I think they can get it done. Slight pitching advantage. And, of course, the Rays lineup just much, much hotter than Boston right now.
Questionable pitchers on the mound here in a usually tough environment out in Colorado. That's going to be the Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies when we set the line. In this one, 155 offshore Pinnacle where it opened, still sitting at 155. How about here in New Jersey? A minus 184, now sits at a minus 162. Chichi Gonzalez versus Touki Toussaint. Can't make up those 2 names here. But again, 13s and some 12.5s across the board today. Not that hot temperatures that we would like, in the 85 degrees, 90 degrees or higher. In the mid to low 70s at first pitch. Some rain expected in the forecast. But you know what else I expect to rain? That Atlanta Braves offense down on Chichi Gonzalez. You know what happens when you go up against good pitching and you say, hey, man, I'm going to face Max Scherzer. I got to face Walker Buehler. Then you see Chichi on the mound. Let's see if we can get some runs here. And boy, oh boy, is that a high team total, Jason, for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, both offenses probably are alive in this spot. Now, Touki Toussaint, he's been a lot better this season. He's had some hiccups, but for the most part, he's given his team a chance to win every time he's out there. Against the Cardinals, allowed 3 runs in 5.1 innings. The Reds, 5 innings, 2 runs. Miami, 6 innings and 2 runs, 6.1 innings, 2 runs, 5.1 innings. And Baltimore, just 1 run. So he gives them a chance to win. But we do know that the Rockies offense is a lot better at home, and their offense looks pretty good when it comes down to it. In the last 30 days, 252 ISO and a weighted OBA of 366, and Tukey's still 5.61 xFIP in his last 30 days. So while he's had some good numbers when it comes to win-loss record and ERA, the xFIP a little bit high because walks are a little bit high, and also has struggled against lefties a little bit as well, giving up minimal ground balls and walking at least 11% of batters on both sides of the plate. So yeah, I think offenses are live for both teams. The over is always really fun, but this isn't Colorado, and the over is going to be high to begin with. So.
Yeah, there you go, Kyle. Take a look at these games. Chichi, as we know, is on the mound. And if you just forget about Chichi Gonzalez himself, let's just take a look at right-handed pitching over the last 30 days for that Atlanta Braves lineup, which I love. I think it looks decent all the way through. 205, 213, 173, 322, 217, 254, and 385. That's the ISO power numbers that were anticipated tonight from that lineup for the Braves. In the thin air of Colorado, 9 full at-bats, Kyle. But, as we like to say, Colorado, really good baseball team at home.
Yeah, it's tough to bet against them at home. You kind of get caught in this trap like, hey, this team stinks. We've got a first-place team. They should smash them. Rockies are an exponentially different team at home, and you're not getting a lot of value on these team totals, are you? I mean, over for the Braves here, you got to get to 7 runs, and that's that minus 120. So I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Get a little bit more value, I suppose, on the Rockies and get over 4.5 at minus 150. How much do you want to trust the Rockies? I do think Touki Toussaint, for all the struggles that he has had, including in his last start, he's still night and day better than Chichi, Rodriguez, Gonzalez, whatever. I mean, this is one of the worst pitchers I've ever seen. I mean, just flat out. He's just one of the worst pitchers I've ever seen. Here's his last 5 games. Here's our fantasy point totals in his last 5 games. Keep in mind, you get 1 point for an out, for Christ's sake, okay? -3, 15, 0, 0, and 6. So we're talking a guy who's not striking anybody out. He's not getting anybody out. He's giving up a ton of runs. I do think the play here is the Braves minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 115. Is Touki Toussaint hittable? Absolutely. Is he as hittable as Chichi Gonzalez with this Braves lineup? Not so much. I think it's a short number in those first 5 innings. You could see a lot of runs early. I mean, they have the over-under in the first 5 at 7. You just don't see that very often. I won't touch that, but it will not shock me if this is 4-1, 5-1 Braves after 5 innings. I think they get it done in the first 5 innings, and you're getting it at minus 115 if you take that run line. If you want to give yourself a chance at the push and not take the 0.5, it's minus 155 on the money line. I don't mind that either.
Fantastic stuff here. Let's get to some value menu wagers on the card. And by the way, yesterday, going around Caesar Sportsbook, which used to be William Hill, it has some great boosts each and every day. Yesterday was on a Wednesday. You get a 50% boost on your winnings if obviously you pick the right game. The only downfall there is they don't have team totals in Major League Baseball. And I actually made a mistake yesterday, which I've done multiple times on Caesars, not reading the fine print on stuff. So I put my first wager in, and I was taking the Oakland Athletics yesterday, total over 5, game total over 5 in the first 5 innings, not like a team total for them. They ended up hitting that easily, but I had to do it twice because I forgot to hit the check mark for the 50% bonus. So it was actually a double down winner and then the 50% on top of it. That one worked out in my favor. But how many times us gamblers, we do the wrong thing and we end up costing ourselves money because we don't read the fine print? But they do have some really good boosts and bonuses out here. But let's get to some value menu wagers tonight. And how about this one I'm going with? We don't officially know the starting pitcher today up in Queens, but look, it looks like those New York Mets right now at BetMGM. If Zach Thompson is on the hill, he's exactly what I want to see. Why? High xFIP number of the past 30 days. Can't get a lefty out to save his life. The New York Mets today, VR lefty, Nimmo lefty, Lindor lefty, Conforto lefty, McNeil lefty, Mazika lefty. Tons of lefties. And you know what's nice also? I can buy this down to a 3.5 at minus 165 at BetMGM. Going light on this one. That's going to cash in. Those amazing Metropolitans, thumbs down, thumbs up today with 4 runs, Jason.
Oof.
Yeah, so we talked about the Giants, that game, the over 2 in the first 5 and the team total at minus 125. That's one of the value plays. I don't need to go further on that one. Also like the Indians, over 1.5 in the first 5 innings against Mike Minor. The Indians, they have so much power in this lineup now, from Ramirez to Chang to Hedges, and even Harold Ramirez now back in the lineup. And, Minor, this is a guy, I think he's about 8 or 9 home runs in his last 5 games. He's been torched when it comes to home runs. And so for the Indians to get 2 runs in the first 5 innings, they'll need 1 bloop, 1 blast, or a couple, solo shots to get that in the first 5 innings. Minor, he's allowed 2 or more runs, I think, in every single start since you go back to May. And while, yeah, sure, he's gone 6-7 innings, he's a guy that most likely will give up at least 2 runs through the first 5 innings and potentially more. So we'll go with this Indians lineup to get 2 runs in the first 5 innings here as the other value play.
There you go. Firing for fast food. Kyle, where are you going today on your value menu wager?
Well, I think we can add that Brave. I actually like that Braves in the first 5 the more I think about it. I think they get it done here. So I don't mind that in the first 5, minus 0.5 at minus 115. And the other one, we're going to go back to this today. It took us extra inning, but if I'm reading that, I'm assuming that means hella hungover, but I like the way he typed it way better.
There's jokes for that, baby.
Yeah, I look hella hung today. I haven't heard that in a long time. So that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that in the chat box. But I'm going to go with the Cleveland Indians team total over 3.5 at minus 145. Look, it took extra innings, but they got us to 5 yesterday. I'm going to get back on that train today. Facing off against Mike Minor. 3 of his last 5 starts against Cleveland, 16 or fewer fantasy points, including a 0 in his last start. A weighted 802 OPS today, and we saw how bad that Royals bullpen can be. So, I like the Indians. I like their team total over 3.5, minus 145. And again, I'll throw those Braves on there. Minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 115. It just makes a lot of sense. I think that lineup looks too strong against Gonzalez. They get it done early.
Yep, people like those comments. As our projector said, they said you was hung out there. Yep, interesting choice of words out there by the real Beck boy. But that's what it is on a Thursday on a short card. People start to lose their handle out here. Let's keep moving here. Go to odds boosted section. Didn't matter. Look, pretty soon, Garrett Cole is going to be canceled from any odds boost from here on out because the guy is absolutely dominating. I took yesterday the over or 8 or more strikeouts in a Yankees victory. Cruised. And it's like when the guy has 8 Ks, 4 innings, that's when you know it's going to be a special night. So that was a fantastic, easy winner along with the other 2 value plays that I had. So today, and when we talk about, sometimes growing up, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe you still do it now. Mom's in there making some, Jell-O pudding, or you got some, ice cream at the bottom, and you scrape the bottom of it just to get the last bit of food. That's what the odds boost look like today. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel. So if I like the Mets to actually do some damage today, which is crazy, I'm going to go Pete Alonso 2+ hits at over a 3-1 ticket today. Give me 2 hits, Pete. Let me cash this in. That's where I'm going with that odds boost, even if I don't necessarily like it all that much. It is what it is. Jason, what do you got?
Yes, I'm looking at Logan Webb to have 6 or more strikeouts and the Giants to win, boosted from plus 150 to plus 175. Now, right now, the Giants, they are minus 188 favorites. And then you add Logan Webb to get 6 or more strikeouts, and you get that plus 175 for the odds boost here. Webb, 34% strikeouts in the last 30 days. And I know the Brewers, they haven't really, the top of the order doesn't really strike out too often between Wong, Urias, Yelich, Garcia, and Peterson. But Vogelbach will be back in the lineup. This is a power slugger that can absolutely strike out. Bradley strikes out. Maile can strike out. And, of course, you get that pitcher as well. So the bottom of the order for Webb, those are all guys, candidates that can strike out against Webb, who has looked really good, striking out a lot of batters recently. So if I like the Giants to win, I like them to score 2 or 3 runs in the first 5 innings. I also like Webb to get the job done, win this game, and get enough strikeouts for that as well. So I guess we're all in on the Giants today, and that game begins at around, I think, 3:30 Eastern time. So if you want to get in on any of this Giants action, you got to do it soon.
Get in on the action, Kyle. Where are we going with your odds boost today? Did you surf the interwebs out here to find a gem for us?
It took me forever, it felt like, too, to finally settle on one. And I don't love the number because I like when home run props are at 250 or 300. But you are getting 2 options here. We sort of talked about the pitching and the runs that we expect to be scored in this Atlanta-Colorado game. So over at DraftKings, I've got Freddie Freeman or Trevor Story, either one, to hit a home run, boosted from plus 120 to plus 165. Honestly, the one I expect it more from would be Freeman. Smashes right-handed pitching this year, and over a 3-year sample size, of course, Chichi Gonzalez is smashed by everyone. So over at DraftKings, boosted plus 165, either Trevor Story or Freddie Freeman, who does profile a little bit better to hit a home run, plus 165 makes a ton of sense to me.
All right, best bets on the Major League Baseball board today, and I'm going to take my talents here. Again, these are weighted. This is for me now in the September, weighted the same basically as my value menu wager plays. So keep those the same unit prices. The Atlanta Braves team total over. Now, it's 6.5. How could you do that, Donnie? That's ridiculous. Keep in mind, early in the season, the last time I went with a 6.5 out there in Colorado, that was the Padres cashing in. So I'm going to go back to the well tonight. I want 9 at-bats against Chichi Gonzalez, which obviously he's probably not going to make it that long. But if he does make it that long, I obviously went up in flames and got nowhere near the team total that I needed. But I think they're going to be able to hit tonight. Also getting after that Rockies bullpen. But as we like to say, you need a running mate here, right? You want a running mate to sort of force the issue to score as many runs as possible. I do think Colorado can score as well, but it just comes down to what we previewed this earlier today. Going up against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days, the Braves have absolutely massacred right-handed pitching. If we can keep the rains away tonight, keep it in that low 70s temperature, I think we're going to get runs, particularly from a Braves side. I think they wake up tonight in Colorado against a bad pitching staff. That's where I'm going tonight. And yes, it's 6.5 at minus 120 at BetMGM. They're getting 7 tonight. I'm cashing this ticket, Jason. What you got?
Whoa. I've got nothing today, just the value plays and the odds boost. It's a small card. Got the win last night, so we'll take a breather and we'll go back tomorrow and we'll find the winner on Friday. See that? You got to balance it, though. See, you got to, like, you don't want to be left out now. You just want to give out plays, even if it's not a best bet. You just give out plays left and right. Like, look at Kyle. He already erased his play today. He's ready for another one. What do you got?
Yeah, I have it. I do. Well, we'll go to the strikeout prop. First of all, we're going to go to Keegan Thompson of the Chicago Cubs against the Pirates. People think, oh, the Pirates, they stink. They strike out a lot. Not true. They're the 6th lowest strikeout team in baseball. And since June 4th, Keegan Thompson has made 18 appearances and has yet to record more than 3 strikeouts in that time. You're getting him under 3.5 strikeouts. The price is right at minus 130. I like that quite a bit. Of course, my original play of the day went up in flames. Thank you very much, Philadelphia Phillies. So we'll stick with those 2 value menu wagers, but I do like that prop today for Keegan Thompson to get the under 3.5 strikeouts, and I like the price as well at minus 130.
All right, now usually this is next section. It's called the odds lightning round. It might as well be called the odd lightning round because there's not too many odds we're going to be hitting here, which is fine. Miami and the New York Mets. We don't know officially, Jason, who the pitcher is going to be in this game, but still a heavy favorite to the Mets. So I love Carrasco, not necessarily, but at the same time, Mets should be able to hit tonight. They should be able to get 4 runs from me tonight. What do you think?
Am I seeing Alcantara? That's who I keep seeing is Sandy Alcantara.
It could be him. It could be Thompson. It could be anyone. Yeah. So,
okay.
I guess they haven't announced it yet. If he's back, then
I'm already
ready to go.
So I hope it's not Alcantara. I do have a small play already in, so I'm hoping.
Yeah, of course.
Either way, the Metsies are hot right now. They've won 4 straight. I guess actually really just 3 straight because the other win that they got goes back to that April game, goes back to the April standings. So it's really just a 3-game winning streak, kind of a 4-game winning streak. And I got my thumbs up here. I think the Mets got the job done. But just note that Carrasco does struggle early in games. The first inning, he allows some home runs or whatever. So maybe just don't do the no runs first inning thing that everyone likes to do. Probably wouldn't do that with the Carrasco start because that's the guy that allows plenty of home runs in the first inning and then settles in afterward. But yeah, if it's Thompson, the Mets should do some damage. If it's not, probably a lower scoring game. But I think the Mets still get the job done and stick around to the NL East for another day.
And really, 8:05 tonight, you got some big-time college football games kicking off. I'll tell you one game most people aren't probably going to watch is that Pittsburgh-Chicago Cubs game, and actually opened up at 151, Kyle, offshore Pinnacle. Now sits at 130. So money coming in on money, Mitch Keller versus Thompson. 8.5s across the board. Even an 8 offshore and 8s at some outlets here in Wrigley, which lets you know that wind is blowing in, Kyle. Any thoughts here between money Mitch versus Thompson?
God, it's really tough. Like, it kind of makes me sick here. There is some plus money you can get on the run line in the first 5 innings for the Cubs. Again, I don't love that. These are 2 really bad teams. My favorite play in this game is strictly the under strikeout prop. I'd actually kind of think the Pirates team total is live. You do have some hitters with an advantage here, and I always like taking a Pirates team total better when Colin Moran, of course, is in the lineup, which he should be today, but it's really tough to trust either of these teams, right? Maybe a sprinkle on the Pirates team total, like that under strikeout prop. If you're looking for a plus money spot, you could take the Cubs at home in the first 5 innings. These are 2 bad pitchers. Do I think Thompson even makes it the full 5? No, I don't. Then you get to those Cubs, that Cubs bullpen. It makes things really, really, really scary. For me, stick to the under strikeout prop. Leave it there. If you want to do a little sprinkle on that Pirates team total, I don't blame you there either.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll keep moving down the list. One more game to hit here, and that is Cleveland and Kansas City. McKenzie versus Minor. 8 to 8.5, depending where you're shopping across the board. Roughly a coin flip here between McKenzie and Minor. Any thought process here, Jason, on this baseball game? Weather conditions, 80 degrees, wind blowing from right to left, so not too many issues. But it looks like Brian Gorman, the umpire behind the plate, is an under guy, 197 and 212 in his career for minus 21 units. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that's a little scary, but again, I'm only taking the Indians to score 2 runs in the first 5 innings. So they score 2 runs and the Royals score none. That game still goes under the total. So yeah, the Indians over 1.5 in the first 5 on the team total at minus 140 via DraftKings. Again, like I talked about earlier, I think there's a lot of power in this lineup for the Indians. 263 ISO, 383 weighted OBA, striking out under 20% of the time. Going up against Minor, this is a guy that allows plenty of home runs. He's allowed them, I think, 8 or 9 times in his last 5 starts. So it's been a pretty big disaster for Minor when it comes to home runs. So when you look at the Indians, all you need is 1 bloop, 1 blast, get 2 runs, and that's that. Or, of course, 2 solo shots, whatever the case might be. I think the Indians got 2 runs in the first 5 innings, and we can cash that ticket in as one of the value plays.
And somebody has alertly said in the chat box, Daniel Soto, the Nigerians who scammed Jason are live in the chat box. So watch out, Jason, as they're trying to get after you. But we are going to clear the bases on a nice action-packed short show as we get ready for Friday is payday tomorrow. Get some good college football tonight. Got some good college football tomorrow. Saturday, NFL starts up next week. So big doings here at sportsbookreview.com. Make sure you stay tuned. But let's clear the bases and get out of here and let the good people know that we are on tonight. I have the Mets team total over 3.5 at minus 165, who I hope Alcantara is not on the mound tonight. Don't do that to me, people. And Atlanta's team total over 6.5 at minus 120, coupled with a odds boost, 2 hits or more by Pete Alonso plus 300. Hopefully, again, Alcantara is not starting for the Miami Marlins tonight. Jason, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm on the Indians over 1.5 in the first 5 and the team total at minus 140. Just spoke about that one. And also the Giants over 2 in the first 5 and the team total at minus 125. I see Tony No Shoes. That's about 2.5. It's a 2 in the first 5, minus 125. Not 2.5, but of course I still think we'll get 3 runs. Just more comfortable with that 2 as insurance. Then of course on Fox Bet, taking Webb to get 6 strikeouts and the Giants to get a win at plus 175, boosted from plus 150 again on Fox Bet.
And Akbar says, Kyle's body is on the screen, but his soul has left the building. What do you got?
Dang, I didn't know. Does it look like? I'll tell you what.
Man, they love you in the chat box today.
I drank more coffee than usual, and it does make me feel like shit. So I'm wondering if that's just portraying out. Like, God, too much caffeine. I get jittery. It's kind of weird. I don't drink a ton of coffee. So what am I on today? We're going to go with those Indians. Same Indians team. We're going to go for the full game, the team total over 3.5. That's at minus 145 over at Bet MGM. Of course, Keegan Thompson under 3.5 strikeouts. That's at minus 130. Also love me some Braves, minus 0.5 in the first 5 tonight at minus 115. Our odds boost, Freddie Freeman or Trevor Story to hit a home run over at DraftKings, boosted to plus 165. And my home run list tonight for you DFSers, Chris Bryant, Brandon Lau, right? Yes. Freddie Freeman and Jose Ramirez. That's the home run list today as well.
All right, people, thanks for tuning in on a Thursday. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your evening, whether it's watching Major League Baseball, college football, prepping. But you know we are prepping for, both myself and Kyle are going to be up here shortly in about an hour and a half going over our best bets on the NFL season. MVP odds, props odds, winners of the division, all to put a nice bow on the preseason and kick off an exciting week next week at sportsbookreview.com. So thanks again for joining the show today. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We have the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. This was your show for Thursday, and as always, good luck on those wagers.